and we're going to fly out to Cali. We're going to California because on Friday morning, with no, like, out of nowhere, like a Randy Orton RKO out of nowhere, Kendrick Lamar dropped an album, GNX, and boy, did he send some shockwaves through the culture, dropping some very impactful lines throughout a lot of his, songs, dropping 12 tracks in it. And like when I'm first listening through an entire album, on my first listen, I always start the ones where it's like, all right, I felt it. I started 8 of them. So this was a good one, bro. It was a good one. You had your radio hits, and I think of like the dancers, the TV off, the squabble ups, those songs and stuff like that. But Kendrick made it extremely clear in this album that that man works hard. From Man at the Garden or Whacked Out Murals, he talked about, I've worked extremely hard to get to the point that I'm at. And if you gonna say something about me, it will not go unnoticed. That's where he is at. And I love it because, brother, if you work hard, should nobody be out there talking crazy about you. And I understand that. I get that. And he has found a way to artistically depict how he feels about these different situations. So Elijah, I know I told you about it because I don't think you knew that the album had came out. So once you had listened to it, what were some of your favorites? And then kind of what do you think about? We'll get into Whacked Out Murals. What did you think about the album and that song too?
I think the album was really, really good, well thought of. Whacked Out Murals was a great tone setter. Uh, exactly for what you think the album was going to be. I think Luther was really good. Man at the Garden was good. Reincarnated was good. The Heart Part 6, that was really good. I mean, I could go on and on, man. Of course, TV off, Squabble Up. This was an album to me that was well put together through, I think, from playlist wise, like when it goes from one song to another sonically, it doesn't mess up your ears a little bit. It goes right into each other. But I also think the samples that he chose were actually pretty well too. I think Kendrick did a really good job of putting this piece together. Some people said that this is a mixtape. Well, this is a fire mixtape. You know, this mixtape will be played in this house, and it will be played like in your house.
We need
But
to get back into the mixtape era too, bro,
I
because
think so too, man.
people not doing that. Everybody gotta drop an album. Ain't
And
nobody.
I also like the creativity. Like Man in the Garden was one mic. And the first time I heard Man in the Garden, I heard the one mic sample in there. I was like, oh, he about to do something, and he did. So, and it reincarnated how he, had that tone of Tupac. We all know that he's like Tupac too, but he had that tone of Tupac in that reincarnated song as well. That was good music, man. This is good music, like all around good music. I haven't stopped listening to it since it came out. Since you texted me about it, honestly. Uh, and I think this is a really really good album, mixtape, whatever it will be. And I think that if he follows up with something else, I hope that it just continues on this trajectory of what he's trying to put out there. But it was really good to me.
Yeah, man. Like I said, 8 songs on the album. I starred, um, TV off, Luther. I love songs that you can take a sample and you can reinvent it in a way where you're, giving homage to the artist that you sample from, but you made it uniquely your own. Squabble Up, and like I said, TV off too were 2 dance bops. I also liked how you said like it was sonically good. How you can go from being a turn up song to where we can quiet it down a little bit, and it just has a good flow to it. Like sometimes people, put albums together and they don't think about how it's gonna sound to the listener playing all the way through, or you don't see songs. Some of them like they end and then flow right into the next one. People don't put albums together like that, like the way that they used to. But Kendrick did a good job in that and doing that. And then we look at Whacked Out Murals. Like he has some name drops in there. He talked about Lil Wayne. The line was, let me see if I can pull it up. Because I've been favoriting so many tweets of people talking about it and saying stuff about it, of what it was, which I don't think it was a diss. I think it was truly just him mentioning someone's name. But he said, I used to bump the Carter 3. I held my roller chain proud. Irony, I think my hard work let Lil Wayne down. He said he got the Super Bowl and Nas was the only one to congratulate me. All these boys agitated. I'm just glad it's on their faces. Um, and then he also had a line in there about Snoop saying that saying that he hoped that it was the edibles when he liked Taylor Made that Drake had dropped during the beef that they were having. Obviously, Snoop Dogg responded and said K Dot's new album GNX is fire. He said it was the edibles West Coast or West King. Lil Wayne responded as well, said, "Man, WTF I do? I just be chilling, and they still come from boy, the way he's spelling this, still come from my head. Let's not take kindness for weakness. Let this giant sleep. I beg you all. No one really wants destruction, not even me, but I shall destroy if disturbed. On me, love." Um, do you think this was a diss? Like, or do you think, is Kendrick just talking about what's going on in his life?
I think it's just Kendrick talking about what's going on. Obviously, when the Super Bowl thing came out, we even talked about it. Should Wayne be performing in New Orleans? Little Wayne even commented, and to me, he didn't congratulate Kendrick. All he said was, "Dang, it was for me. They ripped it from me." Blah 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 blah. Look, Lil Wayne, I mean, I kind of agree with Kendrick. Like he didn't even say. All he said, he just wanted congratulations. I guarantee if you just said congratulations, I don't know what his plan is with the Super Bowl, but I guarantee he would have called you and be like, "Hey, I didn't pick this thing. I mean, but I don't want to let my hard work dim the light on my hard work because of what you got going on. But I guarantee we could put something together and put something out there for you as well for the part of the show. I guarantee he probably would have did something like that because I don't think he had a beef with him. On top of that, too, and I'm gonna explain this in a way for everyone to understand where I come to with this. Competition to me is what makes the world go round. I think with Lil Wayne and Kendrick were both competing for the same spot. I don't want to say Kendrick was, but it turned out to be him competing for the same spot. Is what makes the world go round. There's a thin line between competition and there's a thin line with hate. At the end of the day, how a prime example of myself and Fitz, we're both in the same market. If a job opens up and there's one job that's only there, we both apply to it, and Fitz gets the job. I had no reason to hate on this guy because of the hard work that I know he puts in behind the scenes. I seen it. He put in behind the scenes. He put in front of the camera. He put out there for the world to show. Not saying I don't work just as hard. It's just that for him, he works hard. He deserved that job. Let him go get it. And when I'm gonna stop being his friend because he got the job, I'm gonna congratulate him. I'm gonna say, you know what, brother, you did a really good job. If we was both competing for an Emmy, he won the Emmy. You know what, bro, you did a really good job. That's where I feel like what Lil Wayne should have did with Kendrick. It's not given to you. Anything is not going to, even because you work hard. Sometimes, and I hate to say it like this, but sometimes the result isn't proof of what the work was because you could work just as hard, but you're not going to get that same result. So I wish that Lil Wayne would have took that and shook his hand or did something saying, you know what, Kendrick deserved it. He worked hard. I seen him in the studio when they worked together, or if they didn't, I had songs with him, and I know how he works. So at the end of the day, yes, it was disappointing in the moment for somebody who's from there, but doesn't mean that you should rain on his parade of because you're feeling like you're feeling down and you're feeling like you should be there. You should congratulate that man. I don't think it was no beef or any hard feelings between y'all two before, so it shouldn't be none now.
That was very eloquently said, Elijah. And I have not a whole lot to add to that because yes, all of that and then some, all of that. You completely right. Um, I think that, and I do want to go back and say that after watching Lil Wayne, I can't remember what was that Wheezy Fest
Yeah,
something, and it was whatever it was streamed on Amazon, and he got on that mic and said, "Don't stop." I said, you know what? This probably don't need to be the Super Bowl halftime show. I love his music, but maybe I was wrong. Maybe I need to retract. Maybe I need to recant because that was insane. That was absolutely crazy. But yeah, sometimes music or sometimes real life personifies itself into artistry, and Kendrick did a really good job in doing that with this album GNX. So if you have not heard it, go and listen to it. GNX by Kendrick Lamar that he dropped. The 12 tracks is there. Like we said, we've been spinning it all weekend since we heard it, and people are like I said, a pastor somewhere, he was preaching a message and was talking about, he was like using a metaphor about like how Burger King said, you know, you can have it your way, and he said if you want a burger with ketchup on it, you can. Then he said mustard. I said, boy, what is going on up in here? So the world has definitely taken notice now that this music has dropped. So we'll continue to see. We'll see if there's going to be a response from Wayne. We'll see if there's going to be a collab with Snoop. We'll see if Drake decides to say anything. We'll just keep our eyes out there. As long as we keep getting good music, I'm a fan of all of it. As long as ain't nobody getting killed, and as long as we keep getting good music, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Thank you so much for watching this clip of the Fitz Take podcast. Be sure to like this video and also subscribe to the YouTube channel. And also follow me and Elijah on our social media platforms. They will be linked down in the description. And remember, every episode of the Fitz Take podcast will air right here on the YouTube channel every Monday at 2 p.m. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.